What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I've last uploaded, but in this video, I'm gonna show you guys how to upgrade your iMac to a solid state hard drive. Stay tuned. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're not going to be talking about drones so much. We're actually going to be talking about your hardware, your computer, your main beast, the machine that cuts the drone footage that you're shooting, such as your ProRes footage, your H.264, H.265, 4K video. That's what we're going to be talking about today, and specifically late 2015 iMac. Now what are we going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about swapping your 7200 RPM 1TB hard drive, which comes factory installed on the iMac. This is the late 2015 i5 processor. I believe this is, you can do this on the 2013 to the 2015 models. Probably even the 2016 and 17 with the 1TB 7200. This isn't a Fusion, this is just a regular 7200 RPM. And today we're going to be putting in the 1TB Samsung 860 EVO solid state. If you know anything about solid states, they speed up your computer significantly, and it's super easy to do. And if you want to save yourself a ton of money, you can do it yourself if you take your time and have the patience. Now I did shop around, I did go to Apple, I did go to a couple Apple tech stores right here around Los Angeles, and they'll charge you between, including the hard drive, they'll charge you between $1,000 to $1,500 just to put a solid state in your computer. Now with the 2015, specifically this model here, or the slim screen Apple computers that they've been making, they no longer use magnets, it's an adhesive. So if you take your time, you can peel the screen off to access the goodies inside, you know what I mean? Now I have been researching online and on Apple. The one thing I've been hearing is that you need to install a thermal sensor to regulate the fan speed. Now I noticed online a lot of guys that have been swapping out the hard drives for the solid state haven't been installing it, and I don't know if you should be. I can't really get a solid answer, but just for argument's sake and for safety reasons, I'd rather just install the thermal sensor. It's an extra $30 to do it. So since you're inside the computer, you might as well just do it anyways. And that's what I'm going to be showing you in this video. The main objective here is to save yourself a pile of money. The whole setup is only $343. I'll leave everything that I'm using to install this computer in the description below, from hard drives to thermal sensors to tools. But before we actually dive into opening up this Mac, what you're going to want to do is prep. I can't stress prep. Number one, back up your computer. Just back it up. Number two, now there's two ways you can go about doing this. You can extract the hard drive, put it into solid state, and re-download the OS X. I'm using High Sierra right now. Or number two, which I did, is clone your hard drive. Now I'm using a cloning software called Super Duper. I'll also leave a link in the description. You can go ahead and download that. And number three, make sure you have the tools. You're gonna need a solid state hard drive. I have the Samsung 860 EVO. It's a 1TB. You're also gonna need the thermal sensor. Like I said earlier, I'd rather just install it, just so I don't have to go back inside the machine and tear things apart again and redo things. You're also going to need a 3.5 to 2.5 SSD holders. So when you do extract the hard drive, the solid state is going to be a lot smaller. I actually ended up purchasing the wrong one. I didn't want to wait for another one. I will link the right one in the description. My computer's running fine. You're going to need a blade tool, like a box cutter, or the blade, like the replacement blades that you would use in a box cutter. And then you're going to use a guitar pick. You're also going to need some double-sided adhesive. You'll need this to mount your monitor back onto the iMac shell. The one that you're going to see in this video is going to be the numbered adhesive, so you can pick those up on Amazon. Also, again, links in description. And lastly, the tools, such as your Torx screws. But that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna just jump in to opening this thing up and showing you how to do it. Okay, first things first, we're gonna clone the hard drive. And what this is a device made by Sabrent, I can't really pronounce it, but it'll help speed up the process in cloning the hard drive. In a nutshell, the device just allows you to access the external hard drive via your USB connection. You're gonna want to plug it in. This is your power, plug it into the external here. And then next, you're gonna want to plug in the SATA cable. Actually, before we go ahead and do the cloning, let's test our computer speeds right now with the 7200. So just access Blackmagic. We'll just run a real quick test here. As you can see, my write speeds, not very good. We're cruising at about 112.1 for write, read 162.8. I mean, it's not the greatest. as you can see. Honestly, because it's a quad core, it makes it a lot faster. I can still edit 4K footage on this with those speeds, but I wanted to make the computer a lot snappier, a lot faster, and I think really with this solid state, it's gonna really speed things up. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that. All right, let's get back to cloning. All right, so let's go ahead and download Super Duper. So open up your browser, Google Chrome, or wherever you're downloading it from, type in Super Duper. There it is here, click on it. To make things a lot easier for you, I'm also gonna leave a link in the description below. And this is just a bunch of information they give you, but to actually download it, you just go ahead and click right here. Now, I already went and plugged in the solid state hard drive into the computer, and I ran a disk utility, and I already formatted it. I didn't realize this before, but Super Duper will format it for you, but I just went ahead and called the new hard drive Macintosh SSD. All right, so let's go ahead and open up Super Duper once it's downloaded, and there it is. All right, so now we're gonna copy the hard drive. We're gonna click on your Macintosh HD. This is the hard drive in the computer, and we're gonna copy everything over to the solid state. You wanna back up all files. You don't wanna miss anything. As you can see, there's all these other options, but back up all files and copy now. You're gonna wanna go ahead and type in your password if you have one on your computer. This will completely erase Macintosh SSD, then copy the selected files from its Macintosh HD. Are you sure you wanna do this? Yes, we are sure. And here we go, this is the copying process. Now we already did format the hard drive, so it's just basically doing it again. And here's a little time code down here. It's probably gonna take about, if I were to guess, an hour to 3 hours to do. I only have about 150 gigs on here, but we'll just sit and wait. Okay, 2 hours and 20 minutes and 34 seconds has passed, to be exact, and your hard drive is cloned, so it's ready to be ejected from your iMac. Now let's actually dive into taking apart this computer. And again, I just want to apologize. I know this is a long video, but I just wanted to really show you guys the step-by-step process on how to actually do this. I didn't want to skim through anything, so if you want to fast forward or rewind, the option's there for you guys to do. So, all right, let's get going. Clean work area, check. Now here you're just gonna wanna slowly insert the blade between the aluminum casing and the screen and just slowly push. And you'll feel it, it's gonna feel kind of soft, but you're just gonna slowly push just to start the process. Once there's a little bit of play in there, use your guitar pick to help in separating the monitor from the aluminum casing. And just work your way around the monitor. Corner here, I'm just using the blade tool, just slowly starting it and slowly slide it down. You'll feel it cutting. Insert the guitar pick and work your way around the edges. As you can see, wherever it gets stuck, I'll just use the blade tool, kind of work its way around it. Just be extremely careful around the camera here as you're running the guitar pick past it. I'm just slowly going around the edges. And just take your time. All right, now we can see we have some separation. As you can see on the corner here, just working my way around the corners here, on the top, on the side, 1 inch at a time, and then you'll feel it. Now it's released. You'll see the power cable. You see the monitor cable here. To disconnect the monitor cable, there's a little black plastic flap. You kind of want to slide your fingernail underneath and flick it up, and it will pretty much release it immediately. Just pull up gently on the cable. And to release the power cable, it's a little more snug fit. You just kind of pinch the sides and pull up gently. You don't want to separate the cables because then you're going to have yourself a whole other mess of problems. So once the cables are completely free, you're going to want to slowly peel the screen back. I really don't like having fingerprints on my monitor, so I actually grabbed a microfiber cloth. Just slowly lower the monitor. And there's still going to be some adhesive stuck at the bottom. So what you're going to want to do is just take that blade tool and just trim the rest of it off like this. Nice and slow. Again, just take your time. We'll speed things up a little bit here. And just like that, it's free. Go ahead and set it somewhere where it's soft, on some microfiber blankets or pillows of some sort, or just on your bed. I just have a microfiber blanket that I use that I ended up picking up from Costco for like 10 bucks, but it's very soft, it's not gonna scratch the screen at all, and it'll allow me to work on the rest of the computer. Also, when you do take this apart, there's gonna be tons of dust that this fan produces that it sucks through and it blows out the bottom here. So what you wanna do, if you want, you can just pick up some like pressurized air and just angle it and spray down in here, and you'll see all the dust that pops up. It's pretty nasty, but you know, since you're inside the thing, may as well just kind of clean it up a little bit. So once inside, you're gonna wanna disconnect the hard drive right there, and you're gonna wanna grab your T8 Torx screw. We're not gonna be removing this side of the hard drive, we're gonna be removing this bracket to pull the hard drive out. You're also gonna need to undo the speaker. There's a T8, I believe, or T5 here and up here. That'll just slide over just so we can access Torx screw underneath the speaker. So once that's loose, you can just sort of push it to the side a little, and there you go. There's the other Torx screws, and we're just gonna undo those. And just be careful, the speaker is kind of loose. It might fall forward, but just be cautious of it. And when you're taking out these Torx screws, just make sure you have a good hold on them, because you do not want them to fall in behind the electronics. Just slowly wiggle that out, and it should just pop out like that. There you go. There's your hard drive. Easy peasy. So what I'm doing here, I'm just removing the Torx screws that are in the original hard drive, and we're just gonna fit them in the mounting bracket that we're gonna be placing the Samsung SSD hard drive into. So you're gonna screw those Torx screws on the outside of the bracket, and that's what's gonna fit into the brackets, and that's what's gonna help it fit back into the original slots on the iMac. Now do keep in mind that this is the wrong bracket for it. Again, I'll leave a link in the description to the right one, but just so you know, I ended up just using this anyways because I didn't want to wait anymore, and it works just fine. It's just that there's a little play in there, but everything works, as you'll see. All right, now let's get this installed. So just plug in the thermal sensor adapter into the hard drive, and then plug the other end into the actual computer. And because this is technically the wrong bracket for this computer, you can see that it doesn't extend far enough down. Kind of figured that out as I was doing it. And as you can see, the bottom Torx screws don't quite reach down all the way to the bottom. I clearly made a mistake here, but it's gonna fit. It fits at the top, and I'm just gonna keep wiring it and hooking everything up. Just screw the brackets back into the computer. Now, from what I found when researching how to install the thermal sensor, they suggested that you place it right here, right where the SATA and power connector go right into the hard drive. So you just peel off the adhesive on the bottom and just firmly press right onto the hard drive. Just make sure it's on there good, and that's pretty much how you install the thermal sensor. It's just basically gonna regulate your fan speed. So if the computer does end up getting hot, or if that hard drive does heat up, which it probably won't because it is a solid state, it'll just turn on the fans and cool your system down. So now I'm just gonna reassemble everything, starting with the speaker. Just gonna screw everything back together, make sure everything's firmly back in place. So this is kind of bothering me right here. I just don't want it to like hang loose with inside of the computer. So I'm just gonna actually be grabbing some 3M adhesive Velcro. I'm just gonna mount it right there. So what I did here, I just plugged the monitor back into the computer, because before we start to reseal this, I wanna make sure everything boots up properly. So I'm just gonna plug it into the wall. We're gonna power up this computer and make sure our hard drive is working. So I'm just powering everything up, and as you can see, it loaded really quick. And we're just gonna sign in. Sorry about all the movement here. Going handheld, typing in my password, and here we go. Everything's loading. Everything seems to be loading pretty good. Actually pretty quick, as you can see. Okay, it's right back to how I left it, except we have a solid state hard drive, which is awesome. So now that we confirmed that it works, let's go ahead and seal this up and make it official. All right, so now I'd say actually the most time-consuming part is removing the old adhesive from the monitor and from the actual computer housing itself. Now I'm just using my blade tool, and you just want to like get underneath it and you can start peeling it. For the most part, you can peel it all in one strip, but it's probably going to come off in pieces. But just take your time and make sure that you're getting all the adhesive off, because when you reseal it, you don't want to put the new adhesive on top of the old adhesive. And because this video is already long enough, I'm just going to go ahead and speed this up for you guys. So once all the adhesive is taken off, what I did just as an extra precaution, I went and grabbed some rubbing alcohol and a paper towel, and I just went around the edges just to clean off any extra residue that the adhesive may have left behind. So now that we've finished that, it's time to reseal. Go ahead and grab your numbered adhesives. As you can see here from the diagram, it's numbered 16, 11, 12, 15, 14. You just follow that diagram to reseal it up. So I'm just applying the adhesive now, just taking my time, unpeeling the one side of the adhesive to stick it onto the frame. And it's actually really easy, because what helps, having the adhesives labeled makes it really easy and actually speeds up the process. And now applying adhesives to the monitor, and again, just take your time. And now that we've applied all the adhesive to the computer and the monitor, we go ahead and remove the other side. And this is where it gets a little tricky. Line everything up perfectly. You might need a second hand here, because once it's on there, you can't peel it off and do it again. Just plug everything back in, lay it down on its back, and just slightly press and work your way around the sides. I'm just using a microfiber cloth, just applying pressure around the edges, and we're done. And just like that, we are finished. Finally. Let's just see how everything boots up. It should boot up fine because we just did this. And there it is. Everything loads up and we're done. And now I gotta clean up this mess. So now the moment you've all been waiting for, let's go ahead and check our speeds. Let's just open up Blackmagic again. And there it is. Start it up. And look at that. 427, 428.9, pretty zippy write speed. See what our read speeds are. 479, 483.5. But as you can see, the computer is about 4 to 5 times faster with a solid state hard drive, which should make your computer a lot more snappier, a lot more responsive, and definitely boot up a lot faster. And just like that, we are done. Well, that is it for me. If you've made it this far in the video, thanks so much for watching. I hope this video has helped you, or at least has given you the confidence in tackling this project. With this video, I just wanted to show you that with time, patience, and persistence, you can do it yourself as well, and save yourself some money. If you have any other questions about this video or tackling this project, go ahead and hit me up in the comments down below. But until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.